Did you know that each one of us is a walking ecosystem? For the most part, we are oblivious to the microscopic life we carry around with us, which is a good thing considering what they look like. Here are 11 organisms that live inside the human body. Number 11. H. pylori. Approximately 90 trillion microbes inhabit our bodies that can both help and harm us. Living with microbes demands a biological balancing act. What kind of organism would live in a highly acidic environment like the stomach? With a pH of 1 to 2, it is not surprising there aren't many organisms that have adapted to life in this environment. One organism that has been discovered living in the human stomach is the bacterium called Helicobacter or H. pylori. How can it survive? Well, it creates a less acidic microenvironment. The bacteria achieve this by burrowing into the stomach's mucosal lining to a depth where the pH is essentially neutral. In addition, H. pylori produce an enzyme called urease to convert urea produced by the stomach into ammonia and carbon dioxide. H. pylori is the cause of gastric ulcers, something once thought to be caused by stress, amongst other things, but which are now cured with antibiotics. Exactly how H. pylori causes ulcers is not yet known. It is also now clear that gastric cancer is associated with H. pylori colonization as well. Number 10. Athlete's foot fungus. Trichophyton and epidermophyton are filamentous parasitic microbes that latch onto bare feet. You get athlete's foot when you come in contact with the fungus and it begins to grow on your skin. Fungi commonly grow on or in the top layer of human skin and may or may not cause infections. Fungi grow best in warm, moist areas such as the area between the toes. Athlete's foot is highly contagious. You can get it just by touching the affected area of a person who has it. More commonly, you can pick up the fungi from damp, contaminated surfaces, such as the floors in public showers or locker rooms. Although athlete's foot is contagious, some people are more likely to get it than others. Susceptibility may increase with age. Experts don't know why some people are more likely to get it. After you have had athlete's foot, you are more likely to get it again. If you come in contact with the fungi that cause athlete's foot, you can spread the fungi to others whether you get the infection or not. In fact, around 15 to 25% of people are likely to have athlete's foot at any one time. These species and their relatives can creep under the toenails and invade other areas of the skin, including the scalp and genitalia, where they trigger ringworm and jock itch. Number 9. Eyelash mites. There are mites living in your eyelashes, and the older you are and the more oily your skin, the more likely that statement is true. It's estimated that mites, specifically Demodex mites, have colonized the eyelashes of more than 80% of people over the age of 60. Demodex mites are face mites, and if you could see them with the naked eye, you'd see them living at the root of your eyelash and hair follicles. In fact, it wouldn't be surprising to find as many as 25 mites living in a single eyelash follicle. While there's no denying that discovering these follicle squatters is alarming, they're mostly harmless, only causing allergic reactions to highly sensitive people, so don't worry. Number 8. Staphylococcus aureus. The human nose is home to the infamous bacterium Staphylococcus aureus, say that 3 times fast, best known for its role in hospitals where it is a major cause of surgical wound and systemic infection. This is one of the ones you need to worry about. You may have heard of S. aureus in the media, where it is often referred to as MRSA, standing for methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus. Infections of this bacterium are now a very serious threat to human health because it has become resistant to all commercially available antibiotics, including methicillin and vancomycin. It is often carried in the noses of healthcare workers and transmitted from patient to patient. Why some people carry S. aureus while others do not is unknown. Number 7. Fossil viruses. About 8% of our genome consists of stretches of DNA from viruses that infected our ancestors millions of years ago. Scientists who hunt for these viruses think of themselves as paleontologists searching for fossils. Just as animals get buried in rock, these viruses become trapped in the genomes of their hosts. While their free-living relatives continue to evolve, fossil viruses are effectively frozen in time. These and other parasitical, self-replicating pieces of DNA can insert copies of themselves into our genome, leading to mutations that may cause new genetic diseases. The retroviruses, as they're called, carry their genetic material in a single-stranded version of DNA called RNA. To make new viruses, they make DNA versions of their genes, which are inserted into a host cell's genome. The cell then reads the retrovirus's genes as if it were their own and manufactures new retroviruses. These stretches of DNA may also have the ability to help us, however. A new study suggests that some of this foreign genetic material may boost our immune systems, even protecting us from other viruses. Number 6. Dental streptococcus. If you don't brush regularly, you probably have a biofilm of bacteria 300 to 500 cells thick on the surface of your teeth. The dominant species in this dental plaque are S. mutans. It is believed that S. mutans are first introduced at an infant stage when a child is breastfeeding and continually reintroduced by a person's food preferences later on. S. mutans can be controlled by reducing the food products that the bacterium thrives on. The bacteria feed off of refined carbohydrates like sugar, fruit, milk, and starch. When these products are eaten, S. mutans produce acid which harm the teeth, roots, and gums. This bacterium can continually wear on tooth enamel and seep all the way down to the dental pulp, making it necessary to get a root canal. Regular brushing and mouthwash are not enough to fight this bacterium. Even if you brush diligently, these bacteria will still be there. They arrive soon after your teeth do and stay until they fall out. The bacteria ferment sugars and secrete gluey polymers that form the basis of plaque. Number 5. Toxoplasma gondii. So, we know that organisms can affect your health in positive and negative ways, but what about your personality? If you've seen my Animal Superpowers video, you know where I'm going with this. There has been some very interesting research emerging on a protozoan organism called Toxoplasma gondii, which is found in 22 to 84% of the human population, depending on the country. The most intriguing effect of toxoplasmosis is the apparent fatal attraction syndrome, which occurs in infected rodents. T. gondii can infect just about anybody, but can only reproduce in cats. Amazingly, it has found a way to alter the brain signaling of the rodents to make them more likely to be consumed by the cat. Infected rodents in studies had slower reaction times and displayed no aversion to the scent of cat urine, which is something instinctual rodents have in the brain. What's perhaps even more interesting is what they have found in humans. It was discovered that people with toxoplasmosis had slower reaction times and actually enjoyed the smell of cat urine. So, if you love cats, you might be safe, but cat urine is a huge warning sign. Uninfected individuals do not like the smell. Is the organism trying to alter the behavior of its host to make it more likely to be eaten by cats? Think about it. Number 4. Worms. Although worms are not found in everyone, they're surprisingly common in the human population. There are 3 main types found in humans: flatworms, such as tapeworms, flukes, such as blood flukes, and roundworms, such as threadworms. The largest of the intestinal worms found in humans is the roundworm Ascaris lumbricoides, which can reach a whopping 35 centimeters. After ingesting the eggs, they hatch and bury into the intestinal wall, entering the bloodstream. From here, they travel to the lungs, where they're coughed up and swallowed again, returning to the gut once more. Tapeworms are transmitted via infected food, and once inside the body, they attach to the intestine via hooks found on their head. Here, it can survive for up to 25 years. If you're unlucky enough to become infected with hookworms, these intestinal parasites actually drink your blood and can cause a type of anemia. Number 3. Body lice. Body lice are tiny insects about the size of a sesame seed, which is about 2.3 to 3.6 millimeters in length. Body lice live in your clothing and bedding and travel to your skin several times a day to feed on blood. The most common sites for bites are around the neck, shoulders, armpits, waist, and groin, places where clothing seams are most likely to touch the skin. Found only on the body and in clothing, the body lice lays its eggs in the seams of underclothing and similar insular, sheltered places. It is somewhat hardier than head lice, and at 23 degrees Celsius, it can live for 4 days without access to blood. The best conditions for the spread of these lice are when humans are living close together in primitive conditions. They do not thrive amongst people who maintain a good standard of hygiene with frequent washing and changing of clothes. Body lice can easily spread typhus fever, trench fever, and louse-borne relapsing fever. In populations where these diseases do not occur, the only effective louse bites is the resultant annoying irritation. Number 2, Dracunculus medinensis. I don't know if I said that right because it sounds like I just said a Harry Potter spell, but anyway, also known as the guinea worm, which is easier to pronounce, this parasite lays its eggs in stagnant water where the larvae will attach themselves to water fleas. They enter the human body when humans swim in infected water or drink water containing infected water fleas. Inside the body, the fleas die, leaving only the guinea worm to thrive. If undetected, the worm can grow up to 3 feet long inside the body and will begin to burrow itself out, causing a burning sensation on the skin. If a person tries to ease this burning and inflammation by swimming in cool water, the worm will spew its eggs out through the wound into the water. Although guinea worm disease is normally not life-threatening, the pain it causes and other complications can make it severely difficult to move around and can even cause disability. Number 1, Lactobacillus. Finally, another good one. This is one of the most sought-after probiotics. Probiotics are living bacteria that help the body absorb nutrients and keep a healthy balance of good bacteria. They help treat conditions like diarrhea, lactose intolerance, eczema, asthma, vaginal infections, and irritable bowel syndrome. There are more than 80 strains of this bacteria, the most common form being Lactobacillus acidophilus. L. acidophilus is readily obtainable through the consumption of yogurt. It's considered beneficial to human health because the bacteria does not cause disease. After consumption, it resides in the intestines and participates in the digestion process. As byproducts of digestion, L. acidophilus produces hydrogen peroxide and lactic acid, both of which prevent the growth of harmful bacteria. Thanks for watching and eat lots of yogurt. Remember to subscribe if you're new here and click here for more videos. See you soon. Bye!